In our presentation, we have a bit of an odd word, and that's Ogallala, from the Ogallala Sioux tribe to mean scatter. Can you say Ogallala? That was great. Let's do it with a little bit more emphasis. Can you guys say Ogallala?
Hello, everybody. We are West Texas A&M University Enactus, and we are thrilled to be able to show our accomplishments from this past year with our projects Ogallala Life and the Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference. Now, I know that we're not unique in stating that our team has faced many challenges this year. However, we took these challenges and turned them into opportunities to reconnect, rebuild, and renew our team and community. We set out to reconnect our campus and our region, rebuild our team, and renew our commitment to improving the community through entrepreneurial spirit.
West Texas A&M University Enactus is reconnecting, rebuilding, and renewing our commitment to sustainable solutions for our area. We're measuring our projects using the triple bottom line sustainability model, which seeks to align people, planet, and profit so that economic activity and life thrive. Our team is also working towards several of the UN sustainability goals, including industry, infrastructure and innovation, sustainable cities and communities, life on land, better education, and reduced inequalities.
We believe that starting locally is the most effective way to make an impact globally. As such, our team is committed to projects that serve our region's sustainable existence. Projects such as the Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference and Ogallala Life are working together to inspire young leaders and end desertification in our area. Our university, West Texas A&M, is located in the panhandle of Texas, just south of Amarillo. The panhandle land area stretches 25,000 square miles of flat, arid landscape. We experience all kinds of weather, with blistering heat, frigid cold, and some of the highest wind speeds in the country. As such, our area is no stranger to the extreme.
The unique climate and geography of the Panhandle presents challenges for our water supply. These challenges are only further worsened by our prolonged drought, which presents a direct risk to the Ogallala Aquifer. Without a shift to regenerative practices, the Ogallala Aquifer will deplete, threatening high plains agriculture, which accounts for roughly a fifth of all the wheat, corn, cotton, and cattle in the United States, which is why we co-founded Ogallala Life, a nonprofit with horseshoe capital to restore and renew the Ogallala Aquifer so that high plains agriculture can not only survive, but thrive.
In the 1960s, there was a federal program that I think was a cost share, and it funded the building of many soil and water conservation dams across the Texas Panhandle, not just in this area. But the Kritzer Ranch, they have over 60 of these dams. They held water for a little bit, but the problem is dams capture the sediment just as much as they capture the water, and there were no spillways. There were no modern practices that allowed that sediment to wash out. And so what we see is over time, these impoundments, these dammed areas fill up with sediment. And the reason that this is a big problem is it separates the surface water that we capture and concentrate in the impoundments from the groundwater. And so instead of the water recharging our soils and recharging our aquifer, it is stored, sealed, and evaporates away.
To directly observe the water situation in our area, we visited an incredible local family ranch, which is just north of the Canadian River. This river once had consistent water flow, but is now largely a dry riverbed due to well-intentioned damming. Our team visited this ranch to learn about our diverse ecological history so that we could help educate the next generation of Panhandle residents. Our reconnection to the land is invaluable in helping us communicate the importance of sustainable land management. The High Plain Aquifer System's existence and its regeneration became our first priority.
In conversations with our teams, peers, and community members, we noticed that many people were just unaware of the Ogallala Aquifer, let alone of its depletion. Therefore, we wanted to educate the future generation of leaders about the aquifer with the Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference. Not only could we educate the youth about water security, but we could also fulfill a need we saw within our own community. 50% of the high school students in our area are at risk for dropping out. 40% of graduates do not meet college standards for reading and math, and only 30% of students are enrolled in a career and technical program. With the Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference, we wanted to inspire those high school students to reach for greater heights.
Our leadership conference, sponsored by Ogallala Life, featured 54 of our area's high school students from 6 different schools. These students were selected by the Amarillo Women's Network and the local Rotary Club. For the students, our leadership conference was a day of interaction and teamwork.
The students were placed in teams and asked what steps they would take to restore and renew the Ogallala Aquifer in conjunction with Enactus, event alumni, and current students. The high schoolers really impressed us with their unique and creative solutions to promote water education and restore and renew the Ogallala Aquifer. These students practice presenting their diverse solutions, such as cover crops, rainwater collection, and a variety of projects.
We always have to keep improving and we always have to keep learning, and entrepreneurs are the people to do that.
All kinds of ways to get the word out. I mean, technology is everywhere. That's how we get to everybody.
It really is an organization that reaches out into the community. That's the foundation of it. When we're intentional as leaders, things happen. When we bring all of ourselves to leadership, we're present, and the result is that others will follow.
Here at the AWN Be Heard Leadership Conference, that's what we're trying to do is, build the next generation of leaders.
Through their participation in our Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference, students were able to expand on their leadership, critical thinking, and presentation skills. After attending our leadership conference, 45% of attendees said that they felt more comfortable speaking and presenting in front of others. 90% reported an improved ability to work alongside their peers, and students also reported that our leadership conference was extremely relevant in helping them build skills necessary for their future endeavors. We hope to see these students continue to work on their projects for the Ogallala Aquifer with our Enactus team in the near future. We are also honored to have been invited by the Amarillo Women's Network and the Rotary Club to hold this conference annually to further impact more students.
But awareness of the depletion of the Ogallala Aquifer is just the first step. How can we generate revenue to help local farmers and landowners invest in more sustainable land practices and restoration projects? With the growing popularity of NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, we were dedicated to creating projects at the nexus of blockchain, which can be sold and traded. From the second to the third quarter of 2021, trading volume of NFTs reached over $10 billion in sales, a 700% increase. We wanted to take our stab at the NFT market, so we created Acre NFT to not only help generate revenue, but to find more sustainable solutions for our area.
Acre NFT, spearheaded by Scott and Caitlin Kilgore of Ogallala Life, features images of the unique makeup of our soil. We sold out of all 4,840 Acre NFT, raising $200,000 for the Ogallala Life Crypto Endowment on Angel Protocol. Not only this, but going forward, every Acre NFT transaction will provide a 10% royalty to the endowment. Funds from this endowment are going to regenerative land practices like sand dams, cover crops, and other staples of regenerative agriculture.
Following the success of our first NFT launch, we knew we had to launch a new NFT collection, which is why we are excited to announce the launch of Refi Punk. Refi Punk is a collection of pixelated caricatures of the leaders in the regenerative finance community. To support Refi Punk, the QR code to purchase Refi Punk can be found in our annual report. Proceeds from Refi Punk will be used to incentivize land users across the Central and Southern Great Plains to engage in sustainable land management practices, while also ensuring that land users can be supported wherever water is scarce, whether that's domestically or internationally.
And it all started right here with our WTAMU Enactus team in the Panhandle of Texas. With our Be Heard Leadership and Entrepreneurship Conference, we are reconnecting our area's youth with our campus to help them build skills necessary for college and a career, while simultaneously educating the next generation about the Ogallala Aquifer's depletion.
Through the help of Ogallala Life, we are reconnecting our community to our region's needs through the innovative use of blockchain and NFTs.
Please see our annual report for other projects, such as Leslie's Treasures, Ready for Duty, and the Veterans Network podcast to see how we are connecting our citizens and our youth with the critical resources to build better businesses and communities.
This year, we have renewed our commitment to provide sustainable solutions for our community.
We are West Texas A&M University,
And
we are Enactus.
We will now begin the question and answer period.
Great project, guys. Especially with the NFT being like the new hype. That's really wonderful that you guys were implementing it into such a traditional project landscape. Going back to that NFT, with that 10% royalty, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you guys project any future revenue with that, or do you have any models kind of in the next 5 years or so aligned with this royalty to kind of further your business ventures? And what do you plan to do with that?
So thank you, of course. And also, yes, our NFT actually has a good amount of utility, especially in the regenerative finance community. Not only will we be airdropping to our users, anyone who owns it, by giving them coins that are in refi, as well as other projects. Our next project, it allows a whitelist for, and other projects are invested in giving back to Acre NFT investors. So we do plan to sell those once the marketplace opens, and we do think they'll have a thriving market.
Hey there, great project. So you mentioned that some of these high school students that you were working with are at risk for dropping out or not finishing college. So how did you get them engaged to participate in this conference that you did?
So after the students were picked by the Amarillo Women's Network and the Rotary Club, we had, that day of innovation, and although some of them weren't familiar with presenting in front of others, we for sure saw their improvement, and you could see that they liked it and they had fun and they wanted to get engaged more. And some of them were juniors, some of them were seniors, and we expect to see more of them come back when we hold this again next year.
And even for me personally, I worked with a group of these students to make their presentation. And at first, they were kind of the stereotypical bored, tired of it teenagers. And by the end, they were really interacting with each other, meeting people from other schools, making connections. It was really great to see their growth.
From that conference, what was some of their ideas for restoring the aquifer?
So my group specifically came up with a pipeline that would go to the Missouri River. They also came up with they said that we didn't have to use a pipeline, we could use an existing one, but we would connect a pipeline to the Missouri to the Ogallala Aquifer so that the Ogallala Aquifer would have constant running water.
Another project that was with my team, in other kinds of islands, they capture their rainwater with kind of like a gutter system on the top of their roof, which then kind of empties into a tank under the ground. So they wanted to kind of incorporate that same idea, but instead of a tank, to actually go straight into the aquifer to regenerate it.
I think my main question for this is, what is currently going on with that aquifer? The high school students are coming up with ideas. We're very, aware of the issue now. What is your team specifically doing to solve that problem?
We're glad you asked. We have been engaged in talks with multiple farmers and landowners to promote sustainable practices in their community. We're using funds from the endowment to incentivize land practices such as sand dams or cover crops to improve the soil so that more water regenerates into the aquifer instead of evaporating away.
So blockchain is, I think, very technical. So can you walk me to the process, how this all started and how did you guys develop this NFT Ogla Aquifer?
So again, thank you for your question. This started early on, and even Brenna will come speak in a moment. She was at the first meeting we had talking about how regenerative finance and crypto are working together and what we can do to solve that. From there, we saw the growing NFT market, and we really wanted to try it and see if we could make something out of it. And I think we had a great success in it.
One of our members in the audience, Gabe Beatty, actually did start this. He was the one that helped co-found Ogallala Life. So if it wasn't for him, we would not have been able to do this.
Oh, I can go first. Okay. Quick question. So, have there been discussions with any like local governments over the pipeline, or I guess any discussions in general to get that moving forward, or any plans to?
So the students were able to present ideas and come up with solutions in their short time period, but those weren't ideas we're actually implementing. It was a way to get the students engaged with solutions to the Ogallala Aquifer, as well as public speaking and presentation. If they come to our Enactus team in the near future, which we would hope and like.
This concludes the question and answer period. Please thank the team from West Texas A&M University.
Thank you, West Texas A&M. We now have 5 minutes for the exit, and the next team will come on stage. Again, observers, if you need to leave, this would be the time to do so in the next 5 minutes.
Here we are with West Texas A&M University. You guys just presented. How do you feel?
I feel great. It was a really cool experience to get to talk in front of that many people and share our ideas.
You just presented at US Expo.
Yeah, it's totally a rush of energy. I went in there, with butterflies, and now I'm just like, let's go. I want to present again, kind of like at the same time.
You want to go back out there and do it again?
Probably not, but like that's how I feel,
Yeah. Energized. Were you guys nervous?
Yes, we were quite nervous, but it was great. It was great to go through, and it's great to have this experience.
Yeah. So now what are you going to do? You're done. Now what do you do the rest of the day?
That's going to depend on the team. We're all going to see what we want to do and where we want to go from here. But I know we're going to celebrate. We did a great job, and I think all of us feel proud of how far we've come.
Yes, you should celebrate. What do you want to say to friends and family watching at home?
I hope you're proud of me, Mom and Dad. This is the first time, anytime we've ever been outside of pretty much Texas. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me through everything.
You did it. Good job, guys. That was awesome. West Texas A&M University. Go jump around.